Memorial to someone named Michael Withey. I'm going to read his testimony to the federal district court, Michael Simon, on behalf of the DOJ versus City of Portland on police brutality issues. This was in 2014 in February. So he's invited up to the stand, page 300 of the fairness hearing, USA v. City of Portland. He says, "Thank you, Your Honor, Withey, W-I-T-H-E-Y. So I wore this backpack as a sort of visual for you guys, especially you two. I had no experience with the internal police review until just recently, between something months ago. Even though I have passed out many forms for people to fill out that I have watched being abused by the police, I have never had the occasion where I personally became a victim until about 2 months ago. I was serving salads and water to homeless people underneath the 405. I am a homeless advocate. While I was there, I was with a friend of mine, and we returned to another friend of mine who was staying in a tent. All of a sudden, a police officer comes the wrong way down the road and stops by us and asks me for my ID. I said, 'Well, why would you ask me for my ID?' He said, 'You have a backpack on.' This backpack. He said, 'You have a backpack on. You are right here near homeless people. You must be homeless.' I said, 'Well, even if I was homeless, would that allow you just to stop me and demand that you take my ID?' I said, 'No, that's not going to work.' So about 3 times, when he finally got the idea that I was not going to show him my ID, he jumped out his car, he ran to me, he got this far into my face, and spit on me while he demanded my ID again. I told him no. Now that brought up a very interesting thing to me, because I had watched it happen before and it never clicked in my head. What he did was he rushed up on me so that I would go like this. He spit in my face so I would become defensive, and at that point he could take me down and bring me to jail and charge me for assault. So I went to the IPR, I said, 'Listen, here are my witnesses, let's talk.' We talked. I got a call about 3 weeks later from his sergeant saying, well, he was more like a defense attorney than anything else, and he was demanding that I must have said something, or that I must have gotten away. I'm like, no, this isn't my side of the story. Quit calling it my side of the story. This is what happened. This is what happened. So what I'm saying is, in essence, my experience, and you will come, let's see, with the IPR was terrible. I went down there. I brought the witnesses. We went through everything. I said, all I really want is for this officer to be retrained, to not go try to arrest people, because that's what he was trying to do to me. I'm not stupid. I've seen it before. I didn't fall for it. If I had, I might still be in jail. I said, I want him to be retrained. I want him to go to a special 8-hour class on how not to be abusive to people. That's all I wanted. Like I said, his boss called about 3 weeks later. I said, I know you are his sergeant. Remember, I know. We know each other from being downtown. I know who you are, and I know you train him. So it is kind of crazy that you would be investigating the guy you trained on how to do it. This makes no sense to me. So I got a letter a few days ago. It was from the review committee. They stated that basically he admits that he should be more respectful in public. And so that's it. That's the end of it. So I took the letter in and I said, you know, this isn't right. This isn't right. If I were to spit in his face, irregardless of whether it was an accident or not, he would have took me down. I would have went like this because he had rushed on me, mad. I would have went down. I would have got a felony. So how is it he gets maybe even a reprimand, and all he has got to do is admit he has to be more respectful? This is absolutely not going to work. It is not going to work. So are we going to continue to let the police, to be honest, I hate to give analogies, but that's sort of like letting the fox design, build, and then stock the chicken coop. It is ridiculous. And it is up to you. We count on the Department of Justice. We need you guys. Do not allow them to continue with decades of this behavior. This behavior is unacceptable, and now it is on you. The court. So then what do you recommend? What will work? Mr. Withey, I recommend a police review from the citizenry that have teeth that can say, no, that's not right, and we're going to remove you from office. We are going to remove you from office because you are not listening to the people. The people matter. It's not about what Chief Reese wants or what the mayor wants or what the Portland Business Alliance wants. It is what is in the Constitution that matters. That's why we have a Constitution. The court, let me make sure I understand you. When you say we can remove you from office, you're not referring to the elected officials, are you? You're referring to the police officers. Am I correct? Mr. Withey, well, Chief Reese has an office. He should be able to be removed by this independent citizenry board. Absolutely. The court, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Withey. I appreciate your testimony. All right. So rest in peace, Michael Withey. Last time I saw him was in front of Right to Dream 2, maybe dropping off some clothing or something. And condolences to his family. Thank him for his service to the rights of the people and the homeless in Portland.